All right, so to get us started, I want to introduce Elaine Whitefeather. Elaine has been in the human services profession for 35 years. She is well recognized. She's constantly receiving awards and recognitions from different organizations throughout the entire country. She is the executive director of A Community for Peace. You guys might know that organization, also known as, or previously known as, the Domestic Violence Intervention Center, or DVIC. They're located in Citrus Heights. So Elaine is really known in the community as being a collaborative powerhouse. So she really builds relationships. She builds relationships with law enforcement, with district attorneys, with advocates, with other providers, and with us. So she is a partner with CalVCP. So it is my great honor to have Elaine come up and kick off today's event. Thank you, Elaine.
Good morning, everyone. It's my great honor to be here. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And as the Executive Director for A Community for Peace, that's just sort of the thing I do. More importantly, I am a survivor. I am a child survivor of domestic violence, family violence. I am a teen survivor of sexual assault. I am an adult survivor of domestic violence. And that's the way I'd like to begin. I'd like to begin by thanking you. I want to thank you. For all the people who do not thank you, who ought to, I thank you. And for the people who do not even know they ought to thank you, I thank you. And for the people who will forget to thank you, I thank you. It's difficult work that we do. I have been in this field since 1979, before this issue was criminalized. And I guess I've been in the issue my whole life. So this has been my passion. It is something that I've come to understand in my life, that your power is in your pain, and that your pain does lead you to your greatest purpose if you will allow yourself to follow that. So for those of us who are survivors in here, celebrate. They didn't take everything. They did not take everything. You are still here, and we are still doing the work. So I thank you very much from the depth of my heart. Yesterday, Michelle informed us briefly, and this is such a complex issue I want to share with everyone. Domestic violence and family violence is an epidemic. It is a social illness, and I want us to understand that it is a social illness. That means that each of us is not only part of the issue, we are also part of the solution. If we understand that domestic violence and family violence are learned behaviors, then we understand the good news in that is that it can be unlearned. At A Community for Peace, our mission is to end violence to women and girls, men and boys. And our secondary mission, which is very much a part of my own heart, is to reduce the impact of domestic violence and violence on children, because we know that we are now dealing with the second and third generation of folks being raised in domestic violence. We know that, and what I'd like to emphasize, that what Michelle brought out to us yesterday was the fact that this is a pattern of coercive and assaultive behaviors. And when you live in a pattern, a deliberate, intentional pattern of power and control, it changes the person you were intended to be. It creates an environment that is a hostage mentality environment. And when you are living in that environment, you will do whatever it takes to survive that environment. And when you learn to do whatever it takes to survive that environment, it changes your whole perspective about the world. The core belief becomes the world is against us. That means that when we think about power and control, and we think about one individual who has a deliberate intention to have power and control over another human being for the sole purpose of having power and control over another human being, then we understand a couple of things. People who are oppressed will rebel. People who are oppressed will rebel. So when we start to think about women fighting back today, we need to understand that how women fight back today has a different motivation and intention in someone who is trying to coerce and have power and control. Because if you're poked at, everybody in here is not going to take that too long, correct? Yes, we know this. So we understand that this is not an anger management issue. I'll just say that, okay? It's not. Anger management is for us. We need to go to anger management because it's frustrating working with these folks. It is. We need to go, okay? We need to understand that this is a learned behavior. And the thing that's so impactful that I think yesterday and today will be about is to understand that children who are exposed to domestic violence, their brain development is changing. So those of us who are parents in here who say, hey, don't you understand that if you do this and this and this will happen? Don't we ask that question? And we still expect our kids to answer that question. I don't know why we ask it, but we still expect our kids to answer that question. But in domestic violence, they cannot answer that question. Because that part of the brain that should be developed does not get developed. What gets developed is that fight, flight, or freeze thing. That survival gets developed. I know how to survive anything. I do not know necessarily how to live. And I do not know necessarily how to thrive. And I do not know necessarily how to live in a way that is not in a war zone. That's what the impact of trauma is. And it is forever. The child and the little girl I was ever intended to be was killed when I was a real little girl, when I was sexually assaulted at 3. That changed the course of my life and every other thing that would happen because of what it did to the way I'm thinking and my experiences. And so without those right proper interventions, without that right proper help, we do not know how to take all the pieces of our life and put Humpty Dumpty back together again in a better way. So the woman I am today is not the woman I maybe was intended to be, but it is the woman I have recreated myself to be. And every survivor has to do the same thing. Our journey begins when we leave, not when we stay. We get it when we stay. We understand what to do. We know how to survive that. Now, I'm saying we lack it, but we know how to survive it. But the minute we leave, that's a whole world that's completely different. And for many of us, we don't even have the support to do that. I'm here not because my family helped me be here. The cost of my healing and empowerment was my family. So I had to find a whole community. So why I'm about collaboration and partnerships? Because I could not be here today without them, without strangers, without people like you. That's somebody without a name that helped save my life, who said those 2 words and communicated to me in every single action, you matter. You matter. And we understand. And if we don't understand, we want to. And if you just will hold on to those 2 things, those 2 things in everything you do, that will move through, and it will touch every victim/survivor sitting in front of you. We all need to know, everybody in here needs to know that we matter. Everybody in here wants to know that we're understood when we're in crisis. So it's not any different than any human being. The difference is that we don't know and have never heard anybody say such a thing as that. Such a thing as, you do not deserve this. I don't care what you did. I don't care what you said. You do not deserve to be abused. So if there's nothing else you say that. Right? And it's okay that we don't always know what to do. I've been an advocate for 38 years. I don't always know what to do either. But I do know this one thing. I don't quit on the people who come to me. I don't quit on them because somebody didn't quit on me. And they're still holding out for me, so I'm going to do the same and I'm going to pay it forward. So there's a thing from my native heritage that I'm going to leave you with, and it sort of guides me in my work. You know, our Hope elders have said for a very long time that this is our time, this is our moment. They've asked us to take a look around and see who's in the river with us, are asking us, right? They're saying, hey, look, the time has come for us to have to move and work together because we can't do this alone. So be brave enough. Be brave enough to push off from the shore. And don't wait for people. Don't wait. You know, you got a heart, you got intuition, you know. Reach out. And they may be the strangest people like a community for peace like us. We're strange. We're strange because we're 90% survivors. We're strange because we actually want to change the systems. We want to partner with CPS. We want to partner with law enforcement. We want to partner with the faith community because these are the barriers to our survivors, and I want to remove those. I want to say, let's make the way. So I need your help. So the last thing I can say is, as the Help Elder said to us, let's all jump in there. This is the time. The time of the lone wolf is over. Let's jump in the river together, and let's celebrate that we are together doing this work. Let's celebrate that. Because, folks, we are the ones we have been waiting for. Enjoy your day.